Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back, it's Jordan here. Today we're going to be shrunk down to the size of a minifigure and we're going to explore the entire Lego city. This is going to give us a pretty cool POV shot that has never been seen before, and I'm actually excited to see it myself. I want to start it off right over here at the Winter Village because that's the first thing that you see when you come down the stairs into the Lego room, squeaking by the Elf Clubhouse and the Gingerbread House and making our way up the stairs to check out Santa Claus's workshop. We're going to say hello to Mrs. Claus along the way, and then we're going to talk to the big guy. Moving on to the Lego city, we've got the beach with the sailboat, some dolphins, and of course the old fishing store, and all sorts of people who are enjoying the beach, whether they're surfing or getting ready to do some snorkeling or just hanging out enjoying the sun, or maybe chilling on the boardwalk doing some shopping or eating some noodles, renting a bike, using the facilities after going on the Ferris wheel, or you can even pick up a coffee on your way in or out. Because of course the boardwalk actually connects to the Lego city right by Town Hall, where we also have the raised train line so minifigs can make their way around the city. We've got all sorts of minifigures outside of Town Hall enjoying the fountain and gardens. Around the corner from Town Hall there is the ground line train track, the bonsai tree, and also the hospital in case you get hurt. Pick up some ice cream, why not, or go to the Natural History Museum. You know what, we might have to stop the tour here because I'm sort of feeling some dinner at the Parisian restaurant, and then I might go bowling for the night. We also have the university to the right beside the bookshop, and one of the newest modular buildings, which is the tuning shop across the street from the farm, and a really cool vehicle, which of course is the moving truck. There is a nice gazebo there where you can chill out and enjoy the view, and I would love to live right here in these townhouses. There's a huge Lego semi on the right hand side there, probably making its way to the Lego store. We've got the bakery and then some other shops just above the entrance to the train station. Across the street from that, we've got the massive corner garage, which has an additional floor, and also City Press. And then we've got the construction site to the right, along with the guy that's operating the camera. And that guy actually happens to be me, and I'm pretty excited about finally creating this video. Now as we go through this, you might see some distortion because I'm using a 360 camera, but hey, this is pretty cool. Check out the Downtown Diner, also the Daily Bugle, the Ghostbusters HQ, Central Park, 12 Grimwald Plays, the Sanctum Sanctorum, and we're spinning around and making our way into the magical alley known as Diagon Alley. We've got the Weasley Wizard Wheezes, Scribulus, and all of the other wizarding shops, along with a bunch of minifigures. This is one of the hardest places to reach because you just can't access it unless you're a wizard, and most people are muggles. We also saw the interior of the Gringotts Bank. Let's just take our magical brooms out of the alley to check out the night bus, which is actually looking pretty authentic because that seam in the camera is making it look thin, which is pretty neat. Then we've got some facades that cover up the backside of Diagon Alley. Good thing we didn't see any Dementors while we were in the alley there. We were unscathed. But now there's the Grand Emporium, which sits beside the Brick Bank, and then there's a nice carriage ride, and look what's behind that. It's the Mystery Machine. We might have to join up with Scooby-Doo. But now we can turn the corner here and check out the other angle of 12 Grimwald Place. And there's a dragon on top of the Gringotts Bank. Central Park is looking pretty sweet. We've got the Tranquil Garden there. It's nicely framed with the masonry bricks, and there's one of the buses that services the city. And the train station is right behind us, and we're taking a look at the Double Corner Boutique Hotel. There's some beautiful palm trees just outside of Bricksie Land, which is the Lego City's amusement park. Which of course we're going to take a walk through as well. You cannot not go to the amusement park. We're going to check out Assembly Square and also join the gang at Sesame Street. Pass by Batman, right by Central Park, maybe stop in and get a coffee before making our way to the very hectic Pop Culture Street where we have the Avengers Tower and also some jazz music to calm down after we ran into a bunch of superheroes in a giant battle. Thank goodness. But there's the Avengers Tower. You can see Spider-Man kicking Sandman in the face. We've got the Hulk, who's pretty much tearing down the building, attaboy, and also the Ghostbusters HQ. We can meet up with our favorite sitcom characters at the sitcom complex there, whether it be Friends, Big Bang Theory, etc. You've got a pretty cool Lego store. I don't know if I'd want to go there because it's beside the haunted house. Might be pretty spooky. Luckily, the police station is right there, and also we can fuel up our car. Thank goodness. Then we can grab some pizza on the right-hand side there before boarding the train, because there's a train station on the right as well. There's that construction site again, and it looks like we're going to make our way back down this street because we've actually covered all the blocks up against the amusement park and around Central Park, passing by those houses I'd love to live in once again, and we're going to make our way past the tuning workshop and toward the bowling alley. But rather than going straight this time, we're actually going to hang a right into the bowling alley parking lot where we can check out some vintage cars. That one's got surfboards on the side of it, and also that really cool taxi cab. You also have the crook right there who's pulling in the wrong way. He's about to get busted by that cop right there. He is not too happy about that at all. He's getting a ticket. We're going to make our way down here past the farm, also the school and Venetian houses. There's a bush that's knocked over. We'll have to straighten that out. It's crazy how much stuff you see when you're at this POV perspective. I still think this is so cool. The camera work is a little bit tough, but it just gives us an angle that we've never really seen before. We're going to glide right over this massive mountain that has the observatory and get a pretty cool view of the zoo. Make our way down the street from the zoo, check out the entrance to that, and say, oh man, I need to go to this zoo sometime and check out all those really cool animals. It's a busy place. There's all sorts of minifigures at the entrance there, and there's all sorts of vehicles surrounding it as well. Another really cool place in the Lego City is actually the campground. This is one of my favorite things to do, is actually go camping. So we may as well bust a right here and check it out. There is a Mountie at the gate who is sort of policing the campground. We can take this arch bridge towards the treehouse. We'll head over toward Mount Clutchmore as well. There's all sorts of campers. Most of the campsites are taken, but there is one that is vacant. There is a Harry Potter scene to the right there. You might want to stay away from Grop if your name is Dolores. We're going to pass by a couple cool cabins, also Winnie the Pooh, and some people on horseback. And this guy who's hitting a massive jump with his pedal bike, making our way into the residential area where we've got some pretty cool houses, which includes the modern family home and also an old school like 3-in-1 house. It is just so neat. Oh my gosh, it's Indiana Jones. He must be checking out the diner and all of the cool vehicles that are in the diner's parking lot. You know, I'd love to go to that diner after a long day at the beach or a day at the skate park, which actually shares a parking lot with it. Once again, I want to apologize for that seam. There's no way that I can stop it. We're just getting the cool 360 view. And that 360 view is going to be really neat as we make our way through the campground, sort of following the creek. We saw a moose there, all sorts of colorful trees. There's the centaurs, Dolores, and also Grop, some ducks that were crossing the little creek there. They're falling over. I couldn't even see that from my perspective. Also some little rabbits there. So many trees in this campground, right by the A-frame cabin as well. It's got another arch bridge that leads up to it, and then we have the little Ninjago shacks on the base of this massive mountain where we have 2 different Ninjago temples, and there's a nice waterfall that flows down that one. And then the zoo. Yeah, the zoo is so cool. We got the African exhibit. We've got some pandas. We got the monkeys. Also the Black Panther. It's fully tiled off. We can see the aquarium, the little fish pond that you can go over right when you walk in, the huge aviary, the bear den, the concession stand, and that is on the base of this massive mountain, which once again has the Mountain View Observatory. You've got that winding road that leads up that mountain, and then there's also the airstrip. The airstrip is pretty cool. I've been considering making some changes to this area, but I'm having a hard time committing to that idea just because it looks so cool with like the path and the running water and also the castle. Like we've got the massive Lion Knight's castle, and the stories all just sort of make sense because over here we also have the medieval jousting set, which looks pretty interesting. I had a lot of fun constructing this little medieval scene up top of my city. I know it doesn't really make sense, but I like how it all connects. You know, you've got the blacksmith, and then on the end of it, we also have the Sanderson sisters' cottage. And I just like the flow of the raised platform, and I'm having a hard time committing to changing it. The only reason I'd want to change it is because I'm out of space for doing cool things, and and that would be the thing that maybe I could change. But speaking of cool things, now we're making our way into the amusement park. We just saw the Haunted Mansion and also the Haunted House drop ride, and now we're checking out the roller coaster. Look at all the figures in here and all the meet and greets and stuff like that. Fully tiled off as well, all sorts of palm trees that have that authentic droop to them. And there's like security guards and cotton candy stands and games, and of course a carousel. There's the soldiers from Toy Story, some green spaces with benches, people juggling. You can test your strength at the strongman thing. Maybe you can put this lady in the dunk tank, or go on the crazy loop coaster, or just go on the little mini rocket ride, or maybe go for a spin on the mixer. And you can also make your way through the castle and meet the aliens, the Claw, right? There's just so many little stories that I was able to create in the amusement park, and I'm really happy with the outcome of it. You can also see the water around the base of the Disney castle, which is pretty sweet in my opinion. I love that. Same with all of the minifigures out front of it, and also in front of the Ferris wheel. So what do you think of the Lego City? Pretty cool, hey? Not too bad at all. We definitely saw it from a different perspective today. It's wild to think that I was able to talk about the Lego City for over 10 minutes, just showcasing like the basic layout of everything. It's not like I discussed every single little detail or story. There's just so much to cover in this Lego room, and I love it. I love this camera. I think it's so neat how we can get down and see all of those stories from like a POV perspective of a minifigure. Pretty cool. And then we can also get some pretty interesting aerial shots. It almost reminds me of a drone, but I don't actually have to fly a drone through my Lego room and knock over absolutely everything and risk complete destruction. So yeah, this camera is pretty fun, and hopefully I can do some more interesting things with it in the future. Thank you so much for coming on by. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming out here on the channel. Farewell.